up, guys? Welcome to the channel and the stream. I am Books Nelson. Not near his microphone. My apologies, I had on the wrong headset. Welcome to the channel and the stream. I am Books Nelson with the At Me Bro Show, and we're going to be doing a deep dive on Brandon Ingram today. And he compares a lot more favorably to this Galaxy Opal Kevin Durant than I thought he would. I'm not saying he's a better card, because he's not, but at the same time, on his best day, Kevin Durant is going for 500K, and we're going to see how much of a difference there is between this free card and this 500K card. All right, so just a quick head-to-head on the stats. The shooting stats are relatively equal. Ingram actually comes out a little better with the 99 midi versus the 97 midi, but I've shot a lot with Durant on Hall of Fame difficulty, and I can tell you, and on Triple Threat Online, and his mid-range shot leaves nothing to be desired, so we're going to call that equal. Free throw is in Durant's favor, but again, no problem with Ingram's. Ingram actually has a 99 driving dunk compared to Durant's 90, so he actually comes out ahead in that. And none of the other stats matter too much. Post fade is heavily in Durant's favor at 92, but Ingram is respectable at 82. His post fade is definitely makeable. I've already seen his post animations, and his post fade animation is, in my opinion, inferior to Kevin Durant's. I think that's a go-to game for Kevin Durant. I would probably only post fade with Ingram on mismatches, or if I had enough space to do the post hop. All right, and so we see with the rebounding, they are, well, the offensive rebound goes to Kevin Durant, but the defensive rebound goes to Brandon Ingram. Very close in that category as well. And here we see here perimeter defense. They're both above 90 with Kevin Durant at 96 and Ingram at 90. Interior defense is totally equal. Speed is in KD's favor, 90 to 81. Block is almost exactly equal. And then the lateral quickness is almost exactly equal. And the speed is almost exactly equal. So these cards are so close. Kevin Durant does have a 75 strength versus Brandon Ingram's 65 strength. So KD, I would say he can survive. It's almost kind of like comparing the Kevin Durant Galaxy Opal to the Kevin Durant Pink Diamond. That's what this feels like a lot. Because when we go to the badges, we're going to see a similar thing. So when we look at these shooting badges, you see Hall of Fame, basically everything, including range extender, except for the quick draw. Right? And when we go to Kevin Durant, same thing, almost identical across the board. The significant difference is Hall of Fame Deadeye, Hall of Fame quick draw in KD's favor. Everything else is equal on the Hall of Fame level. And we see here with the ball handling, Hall of Fame quick first step. He's got Hall of Fame floor general. Does KD have Hall of Fame floor general? I think he only has gold. Yeah, only gold floor general for KD, although no dimer for Brandon Ingram. Ingram does have ankle breaker on gold, and KD does not have ankle breaker. Oh no, he has it on Hall of Fame. There we go. He has it on Hall of Fame. So that is a slight nod to KD, but you guys can see pretty close on these cards here. And so we look at the defensive badges. So Hall of Fame clamps, which is the most important thing, and then chase down and pogo stick on a card this fast, this athletic is fantastic. And he also has that gold intimidator. And of course, a very similar situation with the badges for KD, except he has Hall of Fame intimidator. And the chase down is gold rather than Hall of Fame. So these guys are so close on paper. Let's go. So in the finishing badges, again, basically everything's Hall of Fame. So these guys on paper are really close. Let's see how Ingram shows up when it comes to the animations. So his shot is really nice. It's a little, I'm not going to say slow, it's smooth. It's a very smooth jumper. Some people might see it as slow, and I'm going to actually switch up and shoot with KD real quick. So KD has a significantly faster release, which honestly is, I would say, the #1 difference between the two cards is KD has a much faster release. But Ingram's release isn't too slow to use by any stretch. He has a very smooth, quick release himself. It's just not Durant's. And you can see both of these guys have a really big green window. This is a Hall of Fame difficulty that I'm shooting on. All right, so let's look at the peekaboo. So Ingram's peekaboo is a little sluggish. Now he's a tall character, so he can get away with it. And let's look at KD's peekaboo. Really, really quick to get up with that. He did it so quick that the ball didn't even touch the ground. I'll let it touch the ground a little bit just so we can see that. I'm going to try and do it faster with Ingram for more of a head-to-head comparison. But yeah, that's a good one. So there we go. The KD's peekaboo is fast. It's not Dwayne Wade fast. And Ingram's is maybe... That's nice. That's actually really nice. Ingram's, if you do it as soon as the ball is like about to touch right there, his is also pretty quick, man. His is also pretty quick. If you wait till the ball hits the ground, it's not as quick. But if you do it right away, it's really fast. And I'm also going to look at the Hesi Jumper. And you guys can judge for yourselves by looking at it, see how it looks. Kevin Durant's Hesi Jumper. Oh, okay, so yeah, I should mention this. Kevin Durant is actually kind of hard to do the Hesi Jumper with. You have to get it really, really early. If you miss that early window, he's going to do the full hop extension with his Hesi Jumper. You have to do it as soon as the ball bounces off the ground. If you wait too long and try to do it in rhythm, he'll do that. So make sure you cancel that really early if you're doing that with Durant. And here it is with Ingram. Let's try that again. There we go. And off of the Hesi, I feel like their speeds are pretty equal. He is a really nice Hesi Jumper. I think he's one of those characters that the Hesi feels a little bit quicker than the peekaboo. It might not be quicker, but it definitely feels quicker. And he doesn't have the problem that KD has. He has a much longer cancel window off of the Hesi. That's really nice. His Hesi Jumper is really nice. Guys, I got to tell you, this is a very high quality card. All right, and so now we're going to get into the dribbles. So the major dribbling difference between the two cards is this is Brandon Ingram's size up, which is very standard, not great size up. I mean, it's not bad by any stretch, but it's, you know, very upright. Don't love it. Whereas Kevin Durant's size up is this thing, which he can really rock the baby here. And it's very strong because he explodes out of this really fast. You guys can look at my KD video for that stuff. So he doesn't have KD's unique size up. However, the rest of his dribbles are basically all elite. So he has a Pro 3 Hesi, and he does it very quickly. Very, very quick out of the Pro 3 Hesi. You see he's just zigzagging all over the place. He also has the Steph Curry style cancel on the perimeter, which of course you can mix up. And then you mix in the Pro Hesi Jumper, and he's just a monster, right? So this guy is very high quality. I definitely would say I like him a lot more personally than Michael Beasley, but this is my style of card. Okay, so looking at more of his dribbles, we'll look at his running dribbles real quick. First, the behind the back. So he has a very high level behind the back. It's not the elite one, but it's still a good running behind the back between the legs. And so just like KD, he can do the you know, between the legs up and down the court thing. So he's got that going on. So basically same size up in that regard. What else are we looking at here? Let's look at his half spin between the legs combo. You know, excellent. He is the S tier version of that combo. I'll look at the half spin behind the back or any momentum running behind the back. And we see there, so his behind the back, it's good, but it's not fantastic. So if you're trying to go to the basket, you want to use his between the legs. But if you want to change direction, then you want to use his behind the back. So it's good that he has that to switch up, which is great for him. So I wanted to check something with Kevin Durant real quick. Can KD... I haven't really tried to do this with KD. Okay, so KD dribbles like a 6'10", meaning off of the behind the back, he can't move anymore, right? Like he has to launch out of it fairly slowly. He doesn't have the quick explosion. Quicker, you know, it's not what it used to be, but it's still decent. Whereas Brandon Ingram has the guard version. So Brandon Ingram is actually, I mean, if that's enough to make him a better dribbler than KD, I would say that he has that. He's going to be quicker off the dribble than Kevin Durant. Even though, again, I like Kevin Durant off the dribble, but it's worth noting that Ingram has the quick little bounce. He dribbles more like a 6'8" character, but he's not 6'8". These cards are exactly the same height. I've already done the test off off camera, so I didn't have to bore you guys with it. But I did extensive testing on their heights. They are exactly the same height. It looks like KD's wingspan might be about one tick higher. If you look at my career, he literally might have one tick higher on the wingspan. All right, so anything else oh yeah, the step back. So let's look at his step back. So he has a very good step back, particularly for comboing out of. That's not a combo out of step back. Work with me, buddy. There we go. So you see there, he's got a very kind of bouncy step back dribble. He can really use that step back out of any combo, basically. You know, out of the snatchback, he can do it. Out of the quick stop with that left trigger, he can do it. Out of the behind the back, quick stop, momentum. I let him run before the momentum there. Momentum, snatchback, he can do that, which is really nice on a range extender character. To be able to do that on a range extender character, because you can hit from really, really far away when they have Hall of Fame range extender. So you can start doing your stuff from back here, and that's still in his range, right? Which is very strong to do, because if they don't guard that, of course, you can just keep going. So he's extraordinarily strong with that stuff right there. I gotta say, this card feels like he's really good. Let's look at his layup and dunk packages. I definitely... Oh yeah, I didn't mention this one, but he also has the behind the back teleport as well. So let's look at his layup and dunk packages. So I mean, when it comes to being a dribbler, he honestly has virtually every trick in the book, man. This guy has a lot of great stuff, and I do think he's one of the better small forwards in the game. I know a lot of people don't have him because there's not, outside of Rocco, there's not really anybody in the Western Conference that you really want. There's a few that are usable, but nobody who's particularly great. And so he's more of a grind because only people who want Harden are going to be getting this card. But I will say, for those of you who do get Harden and have to get this card, he might be worth a serious look, because I definitely think if you have Opal AK or Opal KD and you're looking for a backup, this guy might be treating you right. I definitely like him over Beasley. Beasley's pretty popular, and I like the Beasley, but Beasley has a very funky jumper, and this guy has a very smooth, very nice jumper, and a lot of ways to get into that jump shot as well. So let's look at his dunk packages. And then I think we're going to call it a video. We'll look at his triple threat, and then we'll call it a video. So while he does have a very, very high dunk rating, he doesn't have the highest, he doesn't have the craziest dunk packages in the world. They're safe, they're solid, just nothing to write home about. I wouldn't consider him, you know, a monster slasher in terms of the dunk packages, but he does have the dunk rating and a lot of good safety dunks, so that he should be a pretty good in-game dunker overall. And he seems to be an ambidextrous dunker as well. I don't see any gathers. I'll look for some more gathers here. We'll switch hands. Oh, that is not the path you're supposed to take. Let's try that again. So got a switch hand dunk going. Oh wow, I forgot how good his switch hand dunk is. And I remember from reviewing his other pink diamond, he also has some of the best layup packages. Yeah, that's a really nice dunk package. Man, I would really love to see more people use this card, because I titled this video, "Are we sleeping on him?" I feel like we might be sleeping on him. I feel like if this card in its current state was on auction, he would be compared very favorably to a lot of the cards that people use, particularly in the buy now category. But I think if you're using this card, you're going to be able to hold your own as a scorer across the board. He just has so many tools. So many tools. Let's look at his triple threat, and I'll show you his post-fade animations. I'll do a head-to-head with that versus KD. That's his spin out of the triple threat. Not the fastest. It's okay. I wonder if it's the triple threat SIGs that change how quickly they launch out of these triple threat moves here. He's really fast going the same way. Most cards are. He's no different. When he goes in the same direction off the triple threat, he launches really, really, really quick. So if you're behind the screen and you have the ball and you launch out of that, I mean, he launches too fast to even do anything about. That's honest. That's so quick. That's so quick. That's going to be really, really effective. All right, and let's look at his post-fade animations, and then I'll show you KD's post-fades. So first we'll do the regular post-fade. So you see there, doesn't create a lot of space. And for direct comparison, let's look at Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant fades a little further back on that post-fade. Gorgeous post-fade at the free throw line. Let's look at, that's one of the best ones. Let's look at what Brandon Ingram's bringing to the table. That's actually really nice. Really nice post-fade right there. So I guess it's just this one that I didn't... So I like that one. So maybe it's just the one post-fade animation that doesn't create space. But I think if you do that one, KD doesn't really create space either. It's his other one. I guess I just normally don't use that one. Yeah, for some reason I like it a little better with KD though. It looks like he's creating a little more space. But I have to say, I rescind the big gap there. It's not a big gap when it comes to the post fades. And yeah, so I rescind that. You see that the card is the same exact size. But it just looks a little more like he turns in place more and just doesn't create as much space when he's going to the baseline. However, there's another move you can do when going to the baseline, and that's the post hop. And his post hop is just fine. Again, he seems to have a lower release point than KD, and I'll show you KD's directly. But outside of the size up and the raw speed of Durant's pull-up shot, I gotta say, they're a lot closer than I thought they would be. And I'm looking forward to playing the card and seeing... Actually, KD's post-hop is worse. His post-hop fade is not as good as Ingram's. Going to the baseline. Going to the middle, KD is golden. He has some of the best post-fade animations I've seen. And they're really easy to make, too. But, yeah, that's Brandon Ingram in a nutshell. Let's see if he has baseline dunks real quick. Well, we're not going to do it like that. There we go. And he does have baseline dunks. Wow. He has baseline reverse dunks. That's outstanding. Guys, I think this is a fantastic card. And as a scorer, I like him over Siakam. Obviously, Siakam's going to be a better defender. That's what he does. Siakam, he might be a better defender than KD as well. I haven't played with the card a whole lot to really judge him on defense. I know stats and badges-wise, he looks really, really good. And I played with his diamond a lot, and he was one of my best defenders at the time. But I have to play with the pink diamond card to really evaluate him in that regard. But as a scorer, this guy's absolutely dynamite, guys. Absolutely dynamite. All right, I'm going to pop into the chat, see if there's anything you guys want to see or say, and then I'm going to shut this thing down. But yeah, I definitely like this card a whole lot, I have to say. I'm a big fan of this card. I'm really glad I got it. Out of all of the spotlights, he's probably the one that I'm most excited about besides James Harden, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be Pascal Siakam, but the Siakam is good, but this card feels like you can really cook with this card, man. He really feels like you can cook with this card. Cam Powell, Carson Cruz, Dope D, what's up, what's up? So you just picked up Taco last night for 188. Congrats to you. They got the same fade. You think it's fade 3? Yeah, I think Kevin Durant's release might just be higher. Because if you look at Ingram's release here on the fade itself looks the same. But the release point seems to be... Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just visual. Well, I did the wrong one. But the release point seems to be higher for KD. No, the release point is definitely higher. It's the release point at the top that looks higher and looks like it'll be a better shot for Durant. So honestly, if I was being 100% real with you guys, I would really say there's only two differences between these two cards. Kevin Durant's shot is faster, and Kevin Durant has a better size up. And in Brandon Ingram's favor, the other difference would be, let me look at Kevin Durant's step back real quick. Yeah, Kevin Durant has a worse step back than Brandon Ingram. So Brandon Ingram has a better step back, which I use a lot, so that matters to me. And let me see, the size up, the step back. There was one other thing. Oh, yeah, the behind the back. Kevin Durant has the big man behind the back, you know, the Lamar Odom style one. And Brandon Ingram has the guard style behind the back. So while I would never say that Brandon Ingram is as good as KD, but, you know, Brandon Ingram has the guard one. I would never say that he's as good as KD. I think it's close enough that if I wasn't such a fan of the KD card, I would personally be selling this KD because I'm like, I have the Ingram, I can basically play the same way, right? And when I say play the same way, I mean, if you're coming up court, you can just between the legs, pull up, jumper, and that's going to be just as good with him as it is with KD. It's just going to be a little bit slower. Now, look, if you're playing at the highest levels of competition, that little bit might mean something. But for 99% of the population, I think 99% of the population will not notice the difference between KD and Brandon Ingram. Just outside of the shot being slightly slower. Everything else is more for people who go really in depth and are really like into the cards. Like most people don't even do the behind the back anymore, although I find it useful. So yeah, when are we getting an Opal Iverson breakdown? When I get Iverson for 80K, I will do an Iverson breakdown. I gotta check the market. I know he's getting close, but he's not quite 80K yet, and I feel like he's going to be 80K because he's 6 feet tall. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up for Brandon Ingram. I'm a huge fan of it. Do I think it's worth grinding all of the Western spotlights for this card? Absolutely not. He as good of a card. I don't think there's any card that's good enough to grind that many games to get the one card. And because the West has less quality cards, it's basically just Rocco. I would say Ingram is more of a bonus prize for people going after Harden. Yeah, Trey is almost 70K. Like, you can get Trey for 70K if you're in a snipe filter for like 5 minutes. So anyway, but if you're getting the Ingram card, I would definitely say give him a look. He's absolutely worth a look. I think he's in that second tier. If his shot was faster, I would actually go crazy and put him in the same tier as the other offensive small forwards at this position. But as it is, I think there are some people that might prefer this Brandon Ingram to some of the really, really, really great small forwards that are out there. I can't speak for how he's going to perform defensively. That's up to you guys to find out in the field. I will say he has slightly worse interior defensive stats. So while the Opal KD is serviceable at the 4, and elite at the 3, I think this is a card I would probably avoid putting at the 4 unless the opponent is also going small. So I do think this is more of a one position card similar to the Pink Diamond Kevin Durant. But I will say, if you are shelling out, MT for the Pink Diamond KD and you're also getting Harden, I don't know if having the Pink Diamond Kevin Durant and this card is worth it unless you're playing one as the starter and one as the backup. Pink Diamond KD. That's just my personal opinion. Again, you guys can play both cards and let me know what you think. But I think this card has like the same differences between this card and the Opal KD is the same differences between the Pink Diamond KD and the Opal KD. So, except of course, this card has the better speed boosting animations and the better step back. So if you're, in step back club like myself, then that's good news for you because you can do all of that stuff and have some more options when dribbling around the opponent. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. I hope this was informative for you. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know how you guys are doing on these spotlights, if you're doing the spotlights, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.